Oh, I didn't know you could do that. You can
What?
set the intro and outro video now. Oh.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, I have to. Okay. Whoop. I just hang on. Yep, we're here. Taylor is at a concert doing stuff, and
Oh,
uh,
he's at a concert. Who's he seeing?
I don't know who. Hang on. He did tell me.
Taylor Swift, huh?
No, he's looking for people to be drug. He's in front trying to get people to do his drug testing thing. He did say who it was. Hang on. Ben Folds concert until 10 tonight. I was going to tell him you should just log on live from it. I was going to tell him an hour ago. Oh well. They did have their what's up, Las Cruces. He's probably the only one actually here watching. It's been we've kind of died off this whole thing because Rob doesn't show up much anymore, and he's busy, and it's kind of me and Taylor bullshitting for about half an hour, and then we usually end up calling it. Miss So shows up, a few other people show up. We have 5 or 6 people every once in a while, but been kind of slow.
Well, it's a social thing for me, really. It's really just to hang out with you and Taylor and whoever else shows up.
That's the reason I do it now, because I told Taylor I really got one friend around here besides him and my friend in New York I used to do Hot Wheels with, and I guess I'm going to be in New York. I'm going to be in Virginia a week from next Saturday.
So you should travel for someone with no job, Eddie.
Credit cards.
Credit cards. Yeah, I get it. What's up,
well, I'm visiting. Okay, now understand my mother's almost 80. Her brother, my godfather, is 80 something. Her sister in Virginia is 80 something. And then my other aunt who lives with my uncle, they're both in New York. So the plan now is to fly to Virginia on Saturday. It's going to be a long day. It's a 12-hour day for me. My flight leaves St. George at 6:30 in the morning. I get into Virginia at 6:30 at night. I do gain a little hours, I guess. Yeah, so about a 10-hour day with going between 2 flights.
That's how it was for me. When I went from here to Chicago, I left here at 5 in the morning. Didn't get there till 7 at night.
Oh, it's funny because I'm leaving here at 6:30. I then get into Arizona at 6:45 because I gain an hour. So I then have 30 minutes to run to my next flight to go to Philadelphia and then sit for 2 hours and then fly into Virginia at 6:24 Eastern time. So it's about a 10-hour day. The way back, I think I'm through Nashville or something, or some other place. But I have 5 hours of the layovers on the way back. I leave at 1 in the afternoon, Richmond time, get to St. George at midnight. So, wife's going to drop me off. It's just time to see. I have not seen these people in 30 years, 35 years probably. I moved to New York I moved to California when I was 10. I saw them maybe once or twice by the time first kid was here. We went back east, I think. Well, yeah, so yeah, well, I guess so. It's probably been since Melissa was born, maybe 20 years since I've seen any of them. So we're gonna see my aunt in Virginia. I asked James, Digger Jim, if there was anything worth doing. So I'm gonna stay in Virginia till Tuesday, then drive up to New York with my cousin. Go to wherever my aunt and uncle are. I was gonna see me and DJ were trying to do stuff, but I couldn't do anything with him till Wednesday. He says he can't do it Wednesday, so he dropped out. Me and DJ Lynx were gonna hang out for dinner one night, but one of my good friends from the Hot Wheels group from the old days is he lives in Selden, and that's where my cousin lives. So we're actually gonna be staying in Selden, which is just a tiny little area near on Long Island. So we're going to stay there, and me and him are going to hang out probably Wednesday night, have dinner. And then on Thursday, we head back down to Virginia. It's a 5-hour drive. And then we end up leaving Saturday. My mom and them leave at 11:40. I leave at 1:15. So I'll have to sit at the airport for a few hours. And then I go through, I forgot where now. I have one stop in between, then back to Arizona, then to St. George at midnight. So
Yeah, it's kind of like when I just like about a year ago I went to Oklahoma because I got a ton of relatives in Oklahoma. I mean, I would never want to live there because Oklahoma City's pretty cool, but like my family all lives like either in well, some of my relatives live in Tulsa, but others live like in the middle of basically nowhere. That's like 2 hours away from anywhere in any direction.
Oh wow.
Oklahoma is yeah, it's like most like post-apocalyptic, you know, we have in the United States. It's pretty bad, but I mean,
I mean, if a job comes through, then we pretty much made our minds. Where the job goes is where we're going. So the
cost of
Oregon,
living is next to nothing in Oklahoma compared to most places. But
yeah, well, the Oregon job is like 60,000 a year, so that's gonna be pushing it. I mean, I turned down the Hawaii job. I turned down the Hawaii job. Oh wow! Holy crap! He's
Digger
another one's
Jim,
alive. So we don't
what's
have
up,
it.
Diggs?
No one ever shows up anymore. Jim's never around.
He's
Man.
like, I'll save this poor show tonight.
I haven't seen you in like 6 months.
Well, you know what? I've been here and there. Come on, dude. I dropped all this coin at C3, and I
wish
just don't
could
make a
put-
ton of it.
I don't. I make one a week now. I talked to DJ. We'll give his not enough people watch anyway. He's even told me he's getting burnt out on it. He's doing one a week now, and that's it. We're all kind of. I mean, this is my social life outside of like two friends here. What up, Las Cruces? I know.
So you're going to Richmond, huh?
Be in Richmond a week from Saturday. We're staying there till Tuesday, driving up to New York till Thursday, coming back down, and I'll be in Richmond till Saturday morning. So, my aunt and uncle, or my aunt sold her house on the Potomac, and after her husband died, they lived off the Potomac in Maryland. He was a NASA scientist. He designed a bunch of stuff for the space shuttle, designed golf courses if you're a golfer. So he designed a bunch of golf courses, and then he died of a weird blood disease about 10, 15 years ago. So she had this house on the Potomac. I mean, you walk down to the Potomac, little boat ramp. There was a pool, and I think a tree indoors in this house. He designed the house too, I guess. So she finally sold that because all the kids are gone. She's in her 80s. So
she lives in Richmond now?
I think so. She lives in Richmond. I'm not exactly sure where. I doubt there's anything to do while I'm there.
That's where I was born and raised.
I don't have a car.
To do there.
There's plenty of stuff to do there. But you're supposed to be visiting these people that are 80.
Yes, I know, but my aunt's going to be. It's just my aunt mainly. It's just in Richmond. It's just her. So we'll be with her most of the time.
They're not going nowhere.
No.
I always will find a way. I have to go to a store on the way once I get there because I'm gonna I'll have a black bag with all my clothing in it. Then I'm gonna carry my great CPAP machine on the plane. So gonna need some distilled water. So hopefully, I don't know, we'll do that. I'll just stop somewhere for him. It's a few days here. Be fun. 13 hours on a plane. I think 12 the first day, 14 on the way back.
Man. That's gonna suck.
Yep. The way
You're
back
not even leaving the country, dude. I went from Texas to Brazil, and that was like a 14-hour flight or some crazy shit. And I left the country. You're going from Utah to fucking Virginia like the ass backwards way.
Well, that's because St. George sucks when it comes to that. I mean, okay, I got the actual thing. I leave St. George Saturday at 6:30 a.m. Getting to Phoenix at 6:45. That's an hour.
Why does everything go through Phoenix on the West Coast? That's what I want to know too. Like,
St. George goes through only goes through either they go straight to L.A., Dallas, Phoenix, or Salt Lake. There's no choice. That airport only hits 5 places. But then Phoenix, I have about a half an hour to make it from one flight to the next in Phoenix, and then I arrive in Philadelphia at 2:55, and then I have 2.5-2-hour layover till I leave from Philadelphia. On the way back, I have a 2.5-hour layover in Charlotte, and then a 3-hour layover in Phoenix.
So all of this is, I mean, a lot of those different, airports are hubs for certain places. Like Southwest, Baltimore is the Southwest hub. Reagan National, I think, is the national hub, and Dulles is I can't remember what Dulles is, but they're all usually a hub for a specific, like Delta or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I detest having to. If I have to sit, that sucks.
I'm bringing my laptop and my laptop and my stuff, so I'll have that with me.
Like my boss left here, drove up to Philly, got on and the only reason why he did it is because he was going to upstate New York, and it was like, I think he said it was $90 a person for him and his wife if they drove up to Philly and flew out of. They got this really small plane and flew out of Philly to upstate New York, where if he'd have done a regular flight, it'd have been $300 or $400 each way, and crazy shit.
For being out of St. George, I'm only paying with everything about $400 round trip.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So
that's because you have all.
That's why you have all those layovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was no direct, so my only other choice would have been to drive 2.5 hours down to Las Vegas, have my wife drive me all the way down there, and it's just not worth 5 hours of driving.
No, it's not. I mean, there's some things you just got to pay for it one way or the other. I don't know. I'm not a big layover guy. If I can help it, I always do direct. I'll pay the extra money. I don't even give a shit.
What I'm trying to find out is, can I bring
I'm
my
kind of the same way.
Yeah, can I bring my battery packs on for my phone, my extra little chargers on the phone?
Yes.
On the carry-on. Okay.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
Dusty had her little extra chargers on there, and the only thing that sucks is we flew American Airlines, and like the little plug-ins in the seats and stuff didn't work. So I plugged my laptop in. I'm all sitting here watching a movie, like, I don't know, like 45 minutes, an hour into the movie, my screen just goes black. I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, yeah, on the flight, I'm going to probably just try to take a nap. I mean, the first flight's only an hour. I mean, my longest flight is, I think, from Phoenix to Philadelphia, 7 in the morning to 2 to 3 in the afternoon, but I think I gained, 2 hours? So
yeah, there's plenty to do down there. I mean, and I'm going to be down there the 20th, Saturday the 20th. Yeah.
That's when we're flying in.
Yeah, Saturday the 20th. I'll be there for 2 days, and then we'll leave on that Monday. I would have done the whole Friday thing, but my wife has a conference that week, and because I'm off every Friday. I work 4 10s, and I'm off every Friday, but it just didn't work out that way. My brother-in-law's turning 60, so we're going to go down there and have a little party. And I have to check on my mother. She's 87 and currently battling everything. She's in the hospital. So my brother's sending me texts, because my brother lives there and my sister lives there. So
yeah,
I'll be doing all that. But there's plenty to do down there, Eddie. You just got to look it up.
We'll be with my aunt. We're just gonna hang out with her more than likely. I'm with my sister. Me and my sister are like oil and water. We don't mix.
Right.
I'll open my mouth and I'll get this disapproving look on her face, and then I just don't shut up. I'll go straight for the throat. So it's gonna be ugly, but oh well. I mean, the bad part is on the Saturday I've got to sit at the airport for over 2 hours for them to come in. So they're not coming in. They're coming in on Southwest at like 8 at night. I get there at 6 it's 6. I told my wife there's going to be some food eating. I'm sorry. I'm going to be starving probably. I doubt any of these flights are offering food. So
unless you're in first class.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I could have upgraded for, I think it would have costed me $90 each way to upgrade to business class.
Oh, you should have first class. Oh, I was going to say first class, $90 each way is totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
There was no first class. I wish there was. Plus, for every single plane, I mean, on one of these planes, there is a single row on one side. I picked a few seats, so I paid an extra $20 to pick 2 of my seats out of the 6 flights I'm on, because I wanted the if I could get the guaranteed aisle seat, I wanted an aisle seat because I drink 3 or 4 of these. And then my bladder just goes up. Got to get up. Up. Got to get up. So I don't
You have
want
more room on the aisle seat too.
Huh?
You have way more room on the aisle seat too.
Yeah. So two of them, the aisle. One of them had a single row down. I've never seen a plane. It's been a long time. Single row down one side and two on the other side. It's a small little plane.
Yeah, it's not very big.
Some of the other ones are 3 and 3, which was fine. I just picked the
Yeah.
aisle seat when I could. So I think it was a 4. I just put it on the credit card. This is going to be last time I'll see these people. I'm only making one plan with one friend to do one quick dinner with Wednesday night because we're leaving my aunt and uncle's house Wednesday, driving over to Selden, which is just across. Sorry, excuse me. From Bayside to Selden, which is like probably about a half an hour drive on Long Island, to stay at a hotel in Selden because we're going to go to lunch with my cousin the next day. So I got nothing to do. My friend lives in Selden. I haven't seen him in 10 years since he came out to California for a convention, for a Hot Wheels convention. So he has a box full of crap to give me, and I'm going to bring along the crap to give him. So we're just going to exchange shit and have dinner. Other than that, I'll be with family the whole time.
What you been up to, Jay?
Work. I do a lot of coaching now. I coach youth soccer. I coach youth basketball.
Nice. I'm a Arsenal fan. I'm a big British Premier League fan. I mean, that's pretty much what I do on Saturday morning. I get up, make a pot, say, all right, let's see my boys whoop some ass. But
yeah, I honestly, like, my kids started playing soccer and they had a shortage of coaching. So I volunteered, and ever since I volunteered, I've been loving it. And I was a big basketball fan as a kid.
Yeah.
Never really paid much attention to soccer, but ever since I started coaching soccer, I'll be honest with you, I like soccer more now. Like, I've been taking the kids to the Timbers games out here.
Yeah.
And like watching guys that really play soccer is pretty fun once you really know how the game works. Basketball season's about to start, so I'm gonna have to go through that, 4 months or whatever of no soccer, but for me anyway, for coaching.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Back east, I played soccer for years. Even when we moved to California, we played for a while. I played for a few years, and it's kind of stopped after that.
You got to be able to have the fitness level to play. I mean, that's
It's a lot of running.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how much they run. I mean, they, but these guys get paid. I mean, at least over there, they get paid millions of dollars. They don't get paid nearly that level here in America.
No, what's his face? What's his name? Rolando or whatever. He just got put on like a Saudi Arabia bought him. Put him
Yeah.
But he's the highest paid athlete in the world, bar none.
Yeah,
like way more than LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Global
how much is high paid? Because Dak just signed a $700 million 4-year contract. I'm just curious.
Computer.
Dak's become the highest price. I'm curious.
Well, let's put it this way: how old is that guy versus how old Rolando is?
I don't know how old Dak is. Probably 29, 30.
Right. Rolando's probably closer to like 37.
Yeah.
And he's at the end of his career. I mean, he's one of these guys that's going to try to Brett Favre it for as long as he can.
At that age, keep this in mind, Eddie. At that age, at the end of his career, 1 year is Saudi Arabia. He got paid $220 million. So until next year, he got paid $200. From now until then, that's a heck of a paycheck.
Dak's 31.
There's a lot of so like my wife likes Liverpool, all right, and Liverpool has Mo Salah, and he's a great striker, but he's like right there at that. He can do probably 3 more years, and then he'll be done. And so his contract's coming up, and nobody has talked to him. Like, nobody in Liverpool has said, and I think they're just going to wait until January and see how he feels or see where things are at, because they're not going to be able to offer him the money that Saudi Arabia offer. There's a
Right.
lot of top players that are going over and playing that league that they've started because they're trying to just get the recognition.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like FIFA and whatnot, and it's just a money grab. It's a money grab.
Dak's
It really
contract
is.
4 years, $240 million. Is that
Yeah,
maybe?
but that's American. That's American football. You know what I mean? Like soccer players are worldwide. You got huge fans here in America and then huge fans everywhere else.
They're trying to make the NFL the same way, man.
I know.
They had 2 games. They had what was the game last week? Was over in
Go Vikings.
Yeah,
I can't believe my Vikings are like 5-0 right now. I'm like, don't worry, they'll end like 0-6 or something to make the end of the season. So that's how it usually goes.
They peter out. They do well. They might. You never know. They might surprise you. I mean, I have a friend that's a huge Pittsburgh fan that can't stand the fact that everybody's happy that Pittsburgh goes 8-8 every season. Like that's a big deal. That sucks.
Pittsburgh was doing pretty good, I guess. I mean, Dallas barely beat them this week, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Minnesota barely won. They were winning the whole game.
A win is a win, whether it's and it's all I'm sorry, but the NFL has become so ridiculous. Setting up, you can only set up your formation a certain way.
Well, they're trying to really. I know for a lot of it's the safety reasons. They're getting so much kickback from all the head traumas and stuff like that, and they're with setting up on the kickoffs and stuff. They're trying to make it more exciting because last year almost no return kicks. Period. So that's what this new return kick thing came in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be good or bad.
I don't know. I think when you start messing with the game too much, and also think for a fact, and this is just my conspiracy bullshit, I think they want Kansas City to three-peat. I think they call some ridiculous. I watched a game at the beginning of the season. Kansas City, I'm trying to remember. I think they were playing Cleveland or somebody, and they called. They threw the flag on a guy that when what's his name threw the ball, right? He threw it to the Kansas City receiver. The other guy comes running up and jumps up in the air like in basketball, straight up. They both go straight up for the ball, right?
Yep.
He overthrows his receiver. It hits the Cincy guy in the head, in the helmet, and bounces away. They call pass interference. Or not pass interference. Yeah, pass interference. Because he was infringing on the guy's ability to move backwards to catch the ball.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking shit is that?
I started believing in conspiracies with the Patriots back in the day, man. I never thought about there was conspiracies in sports, but there is.
Look, money is involved now.
Absolutely.
Money. What is it? It's like a drug company that helps sponsor the Cincinnati. I mean, Kansas City. I think
Karma.
It's
they're not going to lose.
Yeah,
no, it's probably not them. But.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Everybody bets on everything. Hell, I was talking to Marcus the other day, and he said he had lost all his bets, and he had one last bet to make, and he made it on the Ravens game, and it was these weird bets. So he put some money down and say, like, this guy's going to make the first touchdown. This guy's going to have the most yards in the game. Weird stuff like that.
Stupid shit that never even made any sense before.
He made every single bet. It was 5 bets, and he won every single one of them, and it brought him back up to even. So that makes you happy, you degenerate gambler.
Take the bet, they'll do it.
Right.
I mean, at the Super Bowl, there was some weird. So how many times are they going to pan to what's her face during the Super Bowl?
Right. Taylor,
but that were unofficial. That's like the casinos and those won't take those bets. It's like some weird unofficial places work with those only.
Right.
A lot of the other coaches.
Las Vegas now has
that, what is that phone app that you can bet with?
Like DraftKings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all on their phones. We'll be out coaching, and I'll like see some other coaches looking at their phone. I'm like, oh, and I'll look over, and they'll be like, oh, I missed out like 3 points on this, and I'm like thinking to myself, man.
I don't go. I don't care. I'm going to a friend's house. I can't really watch games anymore. I get only if Peacock grabs a game, or what's the other one? I think Hulu or
they're on Hulu.
Hulu
I have
might get
YouTube
a
TV,
game.
and then if
Yeah.
they're on there,
But my ex, someone I was worked with who also got laid off at the same time. She's already got a job. I'm screwed. But she was a third party inspector, so not exactly what I did. But me and her worked together for like 2 years straight. She invites me over to her husband's house because they've got a 60-inch TV with 4 games going on. So they'll put Dallas on one of the games. But most of the time, I got to listen and watch their games. I get bored to death. But it's cool to hang out with somebody because my wife's like this weekend. She's watching the. My wife's son's mother's dad just passed away. So they're going to California Saturday and Sunday. She's going to watch the house. And then, so I'll be by myself. All the kids are going to be here. I'll just tell them to eat around the house. I'll go over there. I'll bring a bottle of whatever I have laying around because I've got crap. We don't drink anymore. All I got is bottles of alcohol. And so I bring one of those over. They'll have fun. I'll just kick back. They'll make some dip. I'll sit there and just bring a few sodas with me because I drink diet. And I get to watch the game at least. This is the first week I got to watch. Peacock had Sunday night, Pittsburgh versus Dallas. I get to watch it.
Yep.
Kept me awake till fucking 11 o'clock at night. And I didn't think they were going to win. I couldn't watch. I got my phone doing stuff on my phone with one of the games I play, and I'm like, shit, okay, they're getting closer. I don't want to watch. Oh, shit, they're winning.
It's so much games. It's so much gamesmanship, but also, man, I just can't get over. I watched the Ravens play that one game, and I'm like, good God, you guys are trying to lose this game. I mean, Cincinnati they missed a field goal, and I'm like, how does this guy not get the grip? Like, you practice this every day. He catches it, he puts it down, the kid kicks it, and he misses it, and it's down like this, and he gets it up just in time, but it flubs the kick. I mean, shit like that just blows my mind. Kicker
used to be a soccer player. Dallas kicker has only missed. He missed one. They blocked one of the field goals in this game. He has not missed a field goal under 50 yards yet. They finally blocked one. He missed one.
I don't know.
He hit a 66-yard field goal in preseason.
Look, the Ravens they got Justin Tucker, and he's got a hell of a foot. And sometimes, hey, that's the only way they won that last game. So
that Ravens quarterback is ridiculous. That one play last week, he got away from everybody, and that ability to scramble is crazy.
Yeah, but that can only get you so far. You know,
exactly.
That was the biggest problem I had when that dude played. When that guy that played for the Redskins, Griffin.
Oh yeah.
That's all he ever did. He'd scramble. He'd look. Okay, nobody's open. Run.
And he was fast, and he was too small.
Yeah, he was only this big. I mean, he was just a little guy.
This week,
it's like Oregon's quarterback that came to Tennessee. The Oregon quarterback. He was really good in Oregon because in that system, he was great because the guys weren't giant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they are in the NFL. He got in the NFL, got hit a few times, and you never really heard much from him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I knew this week Dallas was missing Parsons and Lawrence, 2 of their defenders, 2 of the defense, and then during like the second play of the game, they lost the replacement for Micah Parsons. He went out with a knee injury. They lost so many outside linebackers. I didn't think they had a chance in hell. I just like I said, the game's on a 60-inch TV. I'm on my phone because I don't want to watch. It's too.
I didn't watch the first half of the game for the Vikings. I didn't start watching until they started losing. And then at the very end, I turned it off. I go, I can't watch this. Aaron Rodgers is for sure going to drive down the field and score on us and win. So I turned it off. Like 10 minutes after the game, I looked at my phone to score. I'm like, hey, we won. I didn't watch.
Yeah, well, you guys are 5-0. As me, I know the Washington Commanders are 4-1.
Yeah, they're actually doing decent. I don't know how.
Didn't Dallas beat the Commanders in the first game of the season? I don't know, maybe not. I forgot who they beat. They beat I thought that was one of the teams they played in the first game, but hell if I remember.
I don't actively go looking for NFL games. If they're on and I'm at home doing something, and I'll put it in the background. Now I actively watch the British Premier League. Like, I get up in the morning, I'm like, all right, my game comes on at 10, or I have the 7:30 game, or I like this weekend we have nothing. It's an international break, so I'll be taking and going out with the missus for a birthday and that type of thing. But when when it's on, both of us are like glued to the TV, going, "What the fuck
Soccer's
is
fun
that?"
to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It is.
soccer's exciting.
My wife
Same with
will watch
hockey.
some
Hockey's
football, but
similar,
Yeah,
but it's just in a more smaller area.
they're
right.
saying they're saying with the hockey team that just started up in Utah, but they're saying like half the seats on one side, you can't even what seats you're in. You look down, you can't even see a third of the rink.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not meant to be for a big arena, in my opinion. It's always meant
this
to
is
be
a basketball
for
where the what do
Yeah.
you call it play. They're playing in the basketball. It wasn't made for ice hockey. For some
Yeah.
reason, I guess they're saying at the very edges on both the back edges where the thing is, you can't see at such an angle. I went to one Kings game way back in the day. Some brokers gave me a ticket when I was working for a bunch of real estate brokers. Me and the wife at the time, we were on the final row. I shit you not. I have never gotten sick trying to look down. We were in the top row of the Coliseum, I think, in LA. I'm like, we're getting sick. We left after half the game because I was getting height sickness. Looking down, going, what the? No, when we do hit Virginia this week, I wouldn't mind hitting a few actual locations, some fun, I don't know, historical places like that. But I don't think my mom and sister want to do that crap. So
No, they want to talk and eat food. That's what old
Yeah.
people want to do.
That's pretty
my
much
sister,
it.
no, she want to eat. Yeah, my sister likes to eat too, but so do I. I gotta find out.
Well, you're old. This is old man chat, right? We're all old.
Yeah, no shit. There's nobody watching.
Well, the
Hey, question for you two. Have you guys? You guys obviously have seen this. I just seen it yesterday, but
I doubt it.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Did you guys like it?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was okay. It was
I
fun.
thought it was exactly what I was going to get. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't any specially, I
Wasn't
wasn't
great.
looking for a great story. I was looking
No.
for what I got, which was a lot of.
I guess I was looking for a little bit better story. I mean, it wasn't bad. I did not dislike it. It was entertaining. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
Les liked it. He's the only one here.
I was just I wanted a little bit better story, I guess, but maybe whatever.
Yeah, and I still don't
Yeah.
get how they could roll that into anything and what they could do. And I didn't like what's his face playing Gambit. I'm a Gambit lover. I got Gambit. I got two hand.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was, but I
That
don't
was
think
hilarious.
I thought that part was. I liked him as in comedical. I don't think he could have pulled off a full movie himself.
How about Blade, baby?
Oh yeah,
Blade
God.
is great.
dude,
Yes.
he looks skinny.
He
The
looked
comment he
good.
made about being the only Blade, that was great.
Yeah, he
but
looked
that's one of the
really
other movies
good.
done
And
anyway.
Jennifer Gardner.
Yeah,
They showed her doing all this workout shit to pump up for it because she's like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm
You
coming
see
back."
this dude- okay, but you see her lately doing those commercials for the damn credit card. She looks like a Mormon wife in those commercials. I can't picture her as Elektra anymore.
Man,
Back in
go
the day, maybe?
go watch Peppermint. I think it's called Peppermint. Go watch that. She's badass in that.
Because really, I all around here, I see the commercials for her doing that stupid commercial. I own on a farm and I use this credit card. I'm like, and she's dressed up in exactly what the FDLS girls dress in. Those one dresses that are full.
Hey,
with
she's
the,
getting paid. That's all that matters. She's
I
like,
know,
I'm
but she
getting
doesn't
paid.
come across like she doesn't come across like much of an actress anymore. Is all I'm saying. That's
They all did a great job, really. Like I said, I liked the movie. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It's like that first movie, and even the second movie, it kind of had a pretty decent story to it.
Yeah.
This one was just kind of a little bit all over the place because that's
Right.
how the multiverse is, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's
So was
supposed
the
to
next movie
be like that.
What's our next movie? Is that going to be?
Hopefully, Secret Wars.
No, it's supposed to be the. What is it? It's the oddball characters from all the other ones coming together. Oh God, not Defenders, but yeah,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts,
That's going to be a movie now. That's not going to be a series.
That looks really good, and
I haven't watched the previews yet. I gotta watch.
The Sentry's going to be coming into the MCU.
Yeah, but they're saying as of this, it might just be a mild part, kind of like the guy who does guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the third one. What's his face playing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Playing Warlock, you mean?
the Warlock.
Yeah, Warlock.
They're saying the Sentry might end up being like a Warlock type side character that you don't give a shit about by the end of the movie.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm hoping not, but I mean,
either
Marvel
which way,
Superman, baby.
I don't know what's going to happen with those films. I don't really. like I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
When I go to the theater, I need to leave knowing that I felt something, that I went and saw Godzilla -1 and was like, holy shit, here, take my money. I'm going back and watch. That's the last
I saw Godzilla
-1
when it turned up on Netflix, the English adaptation.
It was so good.
Godzilla -1 is the first time I've seen a movie and was like, wow, this movie has everything. It has a love story that I could actually get into, and I don't like love stories normally, but I was like, wow, this is Godzilla -1 is
right. Yeah, it's a period. It was a period piece. It had a good plot line, good storyline to it. Good actors in it. And
I can't watch. I can't read. I had to. I didn't know there was versions when you had to read all the text. So Netflix just, I guess, adapted it. And I kind of realized after about 20 minutes, I'm like, yeah, they just overdubbed everybody's voice, but they did a good enough job where I didn't mind.
Oh, I love I won't watch it. I always watch the reading one. I want to. Yeah. I read this.
I grew up on the original stuff.
But that's the last movie that I've been to, Jason, that I actually felt like I got my money's worth. The last ones I've been to. I didn't see Beetlejuice because I loved the first Beetlejuice, and I didn't want to. I almost was afraid to go see it.
It's good. It's not great.
I'll see when it comes out on, depending where it comes out. I'll see when it comes.
But it definitely will not ruin it for you, because I thought the same thing. And honestly, dude, Michael Keaton killed it.
I had to force.
There's a couple aspects you could have just taken out of the whole movie, and it would have probably made the movie just a little bit better. Yeah. But other than that, it was really good.
Yeah. I had to make my wife had never seen the first one, so she didn't love it, so we didn't really go see the second one. Last movie we saw in the theater was that stupid Kevin Costner one, because my wife likes Yellowstone. I don't mind Yellowstone either, but she thought maybe it was like that. The worst 3 hours of my life. It was terrible.
And that he probably, the second part of that probably won't get made.
No,
he used a lot of his own money to make that first. Is it?
I think they shot it all. He was already supposed to be out in the theaters.
Oh, they're holding it off. I thought it was like he was like trying to find more money to make it, but you might be right.
A lot of his money. They shot it all down here south of me in St. George. He opened up his own thing down there, and it was 3 hours of 4 different storylines that they you just went from one to the next. If they would have made just a simple streaming line of maybe 2 storylines, but don't flip back and forth between these characters when you have no backstory. And why is this happening? He killed who and why and who's after?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. It was, you're like, I'm done. I fell asleep. My wife's even like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah, we just don't go that often. I don't go.
No, we don't either.
We don't either because
it's just because it has
to $50 day.
It has to be something that I really want to. People like, are you going to go see the Transformers movie? I'm like, no, I'll wait. I'm okay with waiting. I kind of wanted to
see that for fun. I wanted to see that Bautista movie, but I didn't go see the one where he's an assassin who thinks he's going to die. So he puts a hit out on himself, and it finds out he's not going to die. So it just sounds like a fun comedy. I don't care.
Yeah. It's
movies at home is different. But like Digger Jim said, like the last 2 movies I've seen was Godzilla -1 and Beetlejuice in the theater, just because they're both big.
Around here, we have 1 theater with 5 screens. I don't even think we got Godzilla -1.
There are some things that I believe you should see in the theater. Like I regretted not seeing Balls. The Tom Cruise
Balls in the theater? Really?
The Tom Cruise movie,
which one?
The Mission Impossible ones?
No.
Oh no, Top Gun.
Top Gun. The second Top Gun I missed in the theater. I watched it on TV going, shit, I should have seen this in the theater.
That was a great movie.
That would probably looked amazing on the big screen.
Yeah. That would have been one of those movies that got us too, just like Godzilla, because honestly, it was probably just as good, if not better, than the first movie.
I took the kid on purpose for that one. I took the kid on purpose for that one. He liked it. The first one, I can't remember. I've seen the first one 30 times. I can't tell you right now in my mind if I saw it in the theater. My remembering of seeing it, remembrance of seeing it was go after it came out on VHS, going to my friend's house after school. His dad had the most sophisticated at the time. We're talking probably a tube TV, but giant speakers. I remember me and him sitting there watching it and just being blasted by that. And that was good enough for me, but I don't remember if I saw it in the theater. I remember going and seeing E.T. in the theater, waiting 2 hours in line to go see E.T. I remember in New York going to see a drive-in where your opening movie was Buck Rogers in the 21st Century and Jaws 1 when I was like, 7 years old, sitting in the back of the Plymouth station wagon with the window down, the ruck seats and everything, listening on a little radio that big somewhere in Long Island.
A lot of stuff that today I just don't feel like it's worth being in the theater for. It's unless it's got like amazing cinematography, like, oh my God, this is going to be epic.
All the Lord of the Rings, I could see those all.
Like, why would you want to go see Oppenheimer in the theater? Like, tell me what's the driving force to go see Oppenheimer in the theater that I can't get on my on my television at home. It's not a cinematic marvel. It's in as far as like the photography, it's just a great, amazing story, which I've still not watched because I haven't decided if I want to spend that much time.
Yeah,
I know. I've pulled it up a few times myself and been like, yeah, maybe a different day.
Yeah, it was kind of cool this summer. Our theaters here were offering $5 other movies. I don't remember. We saw 2 other movies in the theater. The last Planet of the Apes. My wife likes those. I like the originals. We saw that, and then we also saw the Godzilla versus Kong. We saw those 2. We took but I think after we saw one, I was able to go into another theater, pay the $5 each, and we ended up seeing Twister in full screen. Now, when that movie came out 30 years ago, I lived in Southern California. They just opened up an IMAX. It wasn't IMAX, but a 21 theater place down in Southern California, out in the middle of nowhere. Me and my friend went and saw Twister, the original, in the theater 20 times probably. We'd eat at the pizza place that was part of the theater, eat white pizza. Go in there. We had our beeper. I had my beeper or my little the original flip phone on us. And we go and we watch. I think we saw Twister maybe 20 times. That movie, that one had to be done in a large theater. I want to see Twisters, the new one. I kind of want to see, but at least they didn't totally rip off the first movie. I mean, the music for the first movie.
Too many rip-offs nowadays. They remake too many movies.
Yeah, there's not as much originality sometimes as it could be. I feel like there's a lot of great stories that are out there. They're just, there's the dollar cost averaging.
I don't know if
Twister is a great story, but can I sell it?
But I'm wondering,
can I make my money back?
Twisters at least isn't a total remake. It's kind of it's not the same story because a lot of times they take the same damn story, re-put different. You can't. I mean, the one? Oh God, the people who've died who made the original Twister. I mean, the original actor died.
Right, Bill Paxton gone.
Yeah, Paxton died, and then the other guy died of a drug overdose. The cool one who who was his name? He played in 100 other movies, but he also died of a drug overdose.
Right.
I'll always remember Paxton from Aliens.
Yeah, but he didn't die from a drug overdose.
Game over, man.
No.
He died. I think he died of
brain.
I want to say
either brain aneurysm or heart attack.
Yeah, it was like natural causes, but I don't know. When it comes to movies, I'm very particular about how much time I want to spend on it. And the sad thing is I'll go and sit there and watch a movie again. So like I've seen Edge of Tomorrow 4 times, and it's on Netflix right now. And I was like, oh, I should watch Edge of Tomorrow again. It's a Tom Cruise one where he like gets killed and keeps getting killed, and I don't know what it is, but I like it, so I'll watch it. My wife's like, "Why do you watch that again?" And
there's some movies that when they're on, I just watch. Like honestly, like my guilty pleasure movie, The Princess Bride. When that's on, I'm watching it.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's hilarious. So,
Princess Bride, I've watched 1,000 times.
We went
exactly
just to give you an idea, Eddie, of how old it is, how old I am. I don't know how long maybe been on a couple of dates. And back then it was, I didn't have any money. Let's go to the movies. It's a cheap date night. So we go to the movie theater and we're standing in line to just get up to get tickets to something, trying to figure out what we want to see. And this guy approaches us and says, "Hey, we have a movie that we're asking people to see for free. You'll see it for free. You just have to fill out this card afterwards." And I looked at her and I said, "I like free." And she was like, "Yeah, let's go see it." I mean, we were, it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. and at the end of it, they ask you, like, they gave you a sheet of paper and you filled out what, different questions. But it's the first time I'd ever, and was back then, that was a thing, because what they did was evidently they changed the ending of it. It wasn't the first shot, that the first time they shot it and did it, and they put it out as a test, thing in the theaters.
The ending?
It did not go well, I guess. So they reshot it, and they took a couple of scenes out and, tweaked it, and then they sent it back out, and we got the second viewing of it, whatever it was. And I remember, because I got, back then everybody used to wear pins on their coats and everything. They gave us a
junior
pin
high
that said "Leisure Rules," and I was like, "Oh, I get this pin. I don't want
we had
this."
rock and roll pins back then.
Yeah, so I mean, but I'll never forget it, because I thought this was a great movie. I can't wait to see it.
Bill Paxton died of surgical complications due to a stroke.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is the one who died of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
From the original Twister. Sorry. I knew them all. I just don't remember. I think all the rest of them are alive.
So I don't know. Movies, whatever.
I remember my dad.
They're not as exciting as they used to be, because they've just got.
Two of my favorites my dad took me to see in the theater. I remember Rocky 1 and a movie, little known movie, a lot of actors in it, really good, but The Big Red One. Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I was like, 7, 8 years old when I'm seeing these movies. I used to love war movies. Best war movie ever, The Battle of the Bulge.
I like westerns myself.
I
was a big western.
Western fan. Tombstone is my favorite. Tombstone will always be it. There's a running joke between my wife and my wife's mom, because she asked me one year, 15 years ago, what I wanted for Christmas. I said I wanted Tombstone on a DVD. I'm still asking every year for Tombstone.
And I tell you, you can listen to some of those guys talk about it, and it was not like the guy from Terminator. That plays the bad guy in it.
Oh, yeah, he's still around. He's still doing a lot of stuff.
No, I know, but he talks about his experience in doing Tombstone was not good, because you got to remember, when they started that movie, they had a different director. They had the original director, and then right at the beginning, he just was like, "I'm not doing this shit," and he just quit. So they had to scramble to find somebody else.
Kilmer wasn't even the first person they wanted. They wanted a totally different actor for Doc Holliday.
But I mean, I'm just telling you, he said that was probably the hardest movie he had to ever to work in, because nobody was happy with it. And you just know I love going on YouTube and finding different, interview shows where these people will open up. Here it is 30 years later, and they'll go, "Yeah, let me tell you about this movie. It sucked." I had to be in it. It was my second movie ever done. The director was a total a-hole. You know what I mean? Like, they open up and talk about things that you don't hear about or you didn't know
behind
about.
the scenes.
Right. So-and-so was really intimidating. But I'll tell you one thing that they all say that I thought was hilarious. And it doesn't matter, any actor that is played in a movie that was directed by Clint Eastwood, they all, at some point when they're telling the story, they go, "Well, Clint only likes to make one take." And they're like, "Really?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you do it in one. If he likes it, you're done. If you're doing two, you're doing something wrong." Because Matt Damon said it. All these different people that I watched, I'm like, God damn, every one of them says.
There's a British guy who does a talk show who talks about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I know they're actually saying here that they fired the Tombstone's first director.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And then Kurt Russell took over.
Right.
Kurt Russell did the movie. I didn't know that. I guess I didn't really watch the behind the scenes part. But I do know that Kurt Russell and them did not want they wanted somebody else to play Val Kilmer's part at the beginning. I forgot who. It was another well-known actor. I don't remember who it was. And then, I'll have to look up who that was. But I just thought it was enjoying. I mean, I don't watch really the behind the scenes on that all the time. If I find it, I watch it.
No, I love listening to the stories. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people ask Samuel L. Jackson all the time. They're like, why in God's name would you make snakes on a plane? Like, why? Why would you do that to your career? And he said, and he looked at the guy in the interview and he said, look, this is my job. My job. I mean, there are people that are plumbers. They get up every day. Their job is to go do plumbing. There's electricians. He goes and wires houses. My job is to be an actor. I wasn't working. They were paying me money. The script didn't totally suck. And, you know, it's my job. I'm supposed to go and make movies. And that's the way I look at it. And I was like,
he also said what he just said a little while ago. He didn't think he'd be able to outlive his Marvel contract. He thought he would die before the contract was up.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. I just remembered who it was. Well, I looked it up too. But who was supposed to play the original Doc Holliday in Tombstone? Guess who?
John Cusack.
Nope.
No. Too young.
Tom Selleck?
Nope. Man. William Dafoe.
Wow. That would have been interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Theoretically, when you talk about Cusack, you know, the whole Kevin Bacon 6 things from knowing people.
Yeah.
I am only one person away from knowing Cusack because a friend of mine my friend of mine's brother is the guy who wrote Grosse Pointe Blank. So they got Cusack to do it. He's passed away, but I know all of his brothers and the other one. And the one brother is like, he's been in a ton of movies as background. He's been, you know, the Flintstone movies. He's been in K-Pack. He's been in Fight Club. He's always in the background. He's a guy almost 7 foot tall. Him and his brother have this really unique. The family has really unique square head shape.
Right.
It's just they're really interesting family. They're all 6 feet and above. They're all different shapes and sizes, but they're all huge. And he does a lot of Comic-Cons and he writes books on Jaws. He does a lot of monsters. He plays monsters in movies because they dress, you know, because
he's so big.
6'8".
Yeah.
So it's just kind of fun. And it's still my only real. I really don't know anybody.
Nuts though, man. He's so political. Just stay in your lane. Do your movies. Cusack, man. They're all.
Oh, I don't even pay attention. I don't.
Political.
If they're like that, I just don't pay attention to them outside.
Well, I mean, you know, he's just all of them are like that today, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you like an actor, don't look into him.
I don't look into him at that level. I like to listen to him tell his stories. Like I said, that's what fascinated me about Kevin Smith, because Kevin Smith started it before anybody else. He would get on there and just be like, "Man, let me tell you about what happened," you know, because like the house he lives in now was the house that Ben Affleck bought when he moved out to California, and you know, when he got big, he's like, "Look, I'm gonna sell this house. I'm gonna move to something else." And he's like, "I want it. I'll take it." You know.
All right, we'll ask the question: Who's winning the election in less than 30 days?
I'm not talking about that.
And how much hell are we gonna have when it finally happens?
We're gonna continue along the pop culture area. I'm not even getting into that that crap with you. But
I gotta get out of here, Sid. I gotta go get Arby's.
Yeah, I'm done. My wife's asleep. I'm gonna go.
I have to go to bed because I have to be up in like, I don't know.
I wish I could find it. I wish I could find a job I actually liked and wouldn't have to worry about it. I've applied for probably 100 jobs since being out of work. Gotten about 4 or 5 interviews, second interviews, then 1 interview, and then you don't hear anything for 9 weeks. Like I said, I'm going state by state now. I freaking started looking for ones in Oregon. So we'll see. I mean, I got a job. I got an interview tomorrow for. I really don't want to live there. Bullhead, Arizona. It's right outside of Laughlin, I guess.
Yep.
And then next week I've got a job interview at the city here. So that'd be a real easy one. It's a planning position, which theoretically I'm a geographer and had my minor almost. I missed my planning minor by 1 class. So, you know, who knows?
All right. Well, geography it away and good luck with it. I'm going to get out of here too, guys.
I'll be in town. I'll be down in Virginia on a week from Saturday. Have fun, guys.
All right,
Good
man.
night. Who's actually watching?
Bye.